Welcome back to the Truth Factory. Let's get into some good old-fashioned cat news and review some interesting stories from the past week. Jim Acosta, whose name is an anagram for I Jam Tacos, has now been jamming his arm into White House interns in an attempt to monopolize the president's time and the microphone. You teach small children the basics of sharing in kindergarten, but it looks like CNN is just not sending their best here. I didn't even know that Ken dolls had karate chop action. And because Jim accosted this woman, it looks like he's rightfully had his press pass revoked.
Obviously, I didn't put my hands on her or touch her as they're alleging. No, I didn't put my hands on her or touch her as they're alleging.
I did not hit her. It's not true. It's bullshit. I did not hit her. I did not.
Really? You didn't touch her? It kinda looks like you touched her from this video footage of you touching her. It's really quite simple. If you're purposely not listening to directions and you're being obstructive during a press session, you should be asked to leave. Yet CNN and the liberal media are actually trying to spin this to say that 90-pound White House intern aggressively attacked defenseless Jim Acosta.
As you can see in this video, this intern came up to me. They're describing her as an intern. I don't really know who she is, and attempted to take the microphone away from me. All I can say at that point is that I was trying to hang on to the microphone so I could continue to ask the president questions.
I'm just waiting for him to hashtag me to her and claim PTSD so he can start a GoFundMe to install a second front door on his house. And now the left has come up with this bizarre conspiracy theory that the InfoWars video of the incident was doctored to make it look like Jim Acosta was assaulting the intern.
Sarah Huckabee Sanders tweeted a doctored video clip that they believe is from InfoWars.
The fact that the White House press secretary is promoting this doctored video is reprehensible.
They sped up Jim Acosta's hand movement to make it look more violent.
But as the president explains, all it did was zoom in on it.
The taped video of Acosta? What are you talking about? All that was, nobody manipulated it. Give me a break. See, that's just dishonest reporting. All that is a close-up. See, that is just dishonest reporting. I watched that. I heard that last night. They made it close-up. They showed it close-up. When you say doctor, you're a dishonest guy.
A comparison of the original video shows that this was not sped up or doctored in any way. Zooming in on something is called editing. It's a technique frequently used by all news sources, including CNN, where doctoring footage would be like this. Of course, I don't actually think that this is a violent assault, as I don't think there will be any lasting injuries here besides Jim Acosta's career. But if this situation was reversed, I'm sure the left would say that he literally raped that woman. So it's funny to see how quick the left-wing media is to not only defend Acosta in this situation, but actually pretend that none of it even happened.
Jim Acosta clearly never touched that White House intern. That's just a lie. And
Obviously, I didn't put my hands on her or touch her as they're alleging.
This is like some kind of 1984 memory hole bullshit, where if something doesn't compute in their limited NPC brains, they just block it out completely. They will 100% believe Crazy Blasey Ford's inconsistent testimony about Kavanaugh was zero proof, but refuse to even admit that Jim Acosta touched a woman when there is clear video evidence of it. This is why you can't trust the legacy media. They're just flat out lying here. None of these people actually care about the First Amendment. If they did, they'd be fighting for Julian Assange, and CNN certainly made their opinions clear on how they felt about freedom of the press when they celebrated the banning of Alex Jones. Now let's go to our NPCC and say to get their opinion on this. Orange man bad. And now CNN is actually suing Trump for breach of the First Amendment. Now, it is illegal for government agencies to take any action that is intended to punish a speaker for unwanted speech. However, Acosta's pass was not revoked with the intent to penalize his speech. It was revoked because he was being a rude dork and was borderline assaulting government interns trying to do their job. And while speech may be constitutionally protected, being an asshole is not. So I think banning him would be legally justified based off of his actions here. No journalist has a constitutional right to a White House press pass. The Supreme Court said in its 1972 Brandsburg ruling that journalists have no right to insist on greater access than the general public. Because of that, if a White House press pass was a constitutional right with no repercussions for poor or violent behavior, then every American claiming to be a journalist could legally be in the White House stealing microphones and karate chopping interns. Now, of course, CNN's got some big constitutional lawyers on this, and Jim might have a Fifth Amendment case regarding due process of how his pass was revoked, but I don't see him winning on the grounds of a First Amendment lawsuit. Acosta's just pouting in the corner now because he was given a timeout. And while the left is defending Acosta's press rights, they're simultaneously being silent about the horde of Antifa thugs that stalked and threatened Tucker Carlson's home and wife earlier last week.
We know where you sleep at night.
And now bottom-feeding Michael Avenatti, aka Creepy Porn Lawyer, is back in the news because he's not tired of losing yet, and he's accusing Tucker Carlson of assaulting a gay Latino man at a country club. According to Tucker Carlson, his family was eating there in October, and on his daughter's way back from the restroom, the man asked if Carlson was her father, and then he proceeded to call her a whore and a f***ing bitch. She returned to the table in tears, so Tucker and his son, doing what any good father and brother would do, confronted the man at the bar about his comments, and the man admitted that he had made them. Tucker's son proceeded to throw a glass of wine on him, and after evaluation of the incident, the man was asked to leave and his membership was revoked. Michael Avenatti wrote on Twitter saying that this was an assault and posted a video of Tucker Carlson that I'll link in the description. But all the video shows is Tucker Carlson doing absolutely nothing illegal. Now technically his son throwing any liquid, wine, or even water on someone is assault. However, if there's no significant or lasting injury, there's effectively nothing to sue for. I mean, if this was a really big deal, every woman and reality star who's ever been in a serious catfight would be in jail. It's just a pathetic, transparent attempt at revenge against Tucker Carlson because he called Avenatti Creepy Porn Lawyer. And it's almost as if this incident was purposely set up by Avenatti just so he could get his name in the papers again to keep himself relevant, as he just happens to owe millions of dollars in back pay to a former legal partner. His desperation is showing, and I think this lawsuit is the final nail in Avenatti's career coffin. But speaking of things that are dying, Ruth Bader Ginsburg has broken 3 ribs after a tumble last week. I might disagree with her politically, but I just feel bad for her. If you're a candidate for a life call necklace, it's probably time to retire and get the medical care that you need. It seems like she's just having her dying, broken body propped up on the Supreme Court by Democrats for political reasons. It's borderline elder abuse, and I wouldn't be surprised if they're slowly replacing her with robot parts so she can stay on the Supreme Court forever. So thank you so much for watching, thank you to my new subscribers, and a huge thanks to my Patreon and PayPal supporters. Have a great night. Meow.